The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Oprah are in trouble with the general public because they came out and they started a fund to help the wildfire victims in Maui. Now, we mentioned this last week, but I was surprised because the backlash seemed to continue to mount for them. People were very unhappy with their message. So let's, if we can, we'll watch what they said here first. I think we watched it before, but let's watch it one more time.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui that we were texting back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said, I think that's the answer.
I said, I love it.
And so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui. We guarantee.
That's right. And I know a lot of people out there, as Oprah and I have been finding, are just having a hard time trusting where the money goes. What organizations should I send money to? How can I help? In this case, the fund that we created with a lot of hard work from a lot of hardworking people who all care about these people of Maui. As Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct from you directly to their hands, and right away with some real immediacy, because as we're finding, as you guys around the world know, with disasters like this, the #1 need is money.
Is money.
In hand.
And so people being able to have their own agency, being able to make decisions for themselves about what they need and what their family needs, that's our goal, is to get that to the people now. And so we appreciate any support that you can give. All the people who were calling me and texting me and messaging me and saying, what do I do? What do I do? This is what you do.
You know.
The People's Fund of Maui.
Yes.
Wasn't her house like one of the only ones that didn't burn down or something?
Yeah. Because she hired a firefighting team to protect her stuff.
The funny thing about this, this is kind of the same thing I always say with celebrities. Like, they were just texting. They were just, Oprah and The Rock were just texting. I don't know if I buy that, but what people are upset about is that they only gave, here's the thing. They're like, you could have given more, and that's always a problem because it's not their job to give any specific amount. So it's like you can't win when it comes to stuff like this. They each gave $5 million. Well, they're like, well, you could have given more. It's like, yeah, well, what do you give? Do you give money to some cause? And when you do, does that break your bank? Is it reliant on how close it is to the top of your net income? It's more gracious if they give $10 million each, $20 million each. Yeah. I'm not standing for celebrities here, but the point is they're courting the wrong audience, right? So it's an audience of envy. It's an audience of people who don't want to help other people themselves. They want to tell other people how to help other people, or they want the government to do it. They would have no problem with the government doing this. They'd be more than happy to let the federal government help, but the federal government isn't helping right now with Maui. So it's I was like, they should have just asked conservatives. Conservatives love to throw money at causes they care about, right? They put their money where their mouth is when it comes to things like this. But The Rock, Oprah, they're going to court a very, very mainstream audience. And all the people who are asking, they're like, well, why didn't you give more? What is more? What is the right amount for a celebrity to give, right? There's a lot of people say, when we talk about shows like this, they say if you can't, people who have Patreons and stuff, they're like, if you can't join, the best thing you can do for a show like this is share it with other people. Sure. So the signal boost is they get more out of the signal boost. They'll end up raising more money off of how many people in Oprah and The Rock reach. I just have no sympathy for Oprah or The Rock because they get what they have coming to them because these are the people that they court as their fans, right?
Yeah.
To say people they court as their fans is, I think that's not accurate because they don't really try not to have fans. They're trying to be as inoffensive and cast as wide of a net as possible.
Oddly enough, I think the people that are offensive and niche would end up raising more money.
That could be possible. I mean, I don't really know that I have a take on that. I just don't think that they're specifically trying to get anything more than your average low information person.
But the people wouldn't have a problem if it was coming from their taxes because they don't understand how the taxes work. That the money's coming. They'd be like, okay, well, the government is going to help the people of Maui. They'd be like, good, help. Not realizing that that's your money that's being spent to help. The government should be helping, but they're not.
Sort of, but yeah.
So these are like some of the comments is why can't you rebuild with your money? The nerve to ask. This is the most out of touch thing I've ever seen in my life. Sell your land to the people of Maui.
Yeah, how about that?
This is entitlement. This is entitlement from the people in the comments.
Yeah.
But if you're the people who are actually in Maui, you're not going to feel bad that Oprah and The Rock are asking for help. They'll take any help you can get.
Yeah,
and any person saying this would be more than happy to get this type of thing done for them if it was their home that got destroyed.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking about? So did we, since FEMA went to Burning Man, does that mean that was our tax dollars paying to bail those people out?
Yes. Yep. And then what were you saying? You were saying that Oprah
hired a firefighting team to protect her property before things got too bad.
But also you said there was questions about the fund.
I don't.
Right?
I don't know
about where the money
fund or in general.
I don't trust.
I think there's always a question, and like you should proceed with caution anytime you donate money. Yeah. Because you never really know where it's going or how much of it is going
charity
to
is so
the
scammy.
Cause.
Yeah. Charity can be really scammy, and it's unfortunate. So I would not give her any of my money.
Look at the Black Lives Matter charities, that all those people that embezzled money and they bought houses and blah blah blah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you can't trust those big guys.
I wonder if they're such public figures, would it be harder for them to do stuff like that?
I think so, but that I don't know. I mean, that's just probably just a gut reaction, honestly, more than anything else than any kind of like educated perspective or anything.
Yeah, that would be mine as well.
I just wonder about the logic of people saying like you shouldn't ask for help if you've donated $5 million each. Like, what does that account to, right? Like, is that not enough from a celebrity? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just know that we kind of have entered into a culture where we don't want to. A lot of people don't want to help other people. Right, because we are so strapped. Most of us are so strapped for money. People can't. They don't have the money to feed their family. How can they be expected to donate to something when they don't even have money to feed their families? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is it really wrong for them to at least try?
I mean, no.
Yeah. Not at all. Yeah.
It's somebody said about tracking the funds. That's another thing.
There's a $20
from Nathan Koss.
Nathan says, I thought their $10 million was actually to set up the infrastructure for a donation platform. They didn't donate it to people. They invested it to set up a fundraising org.
I wonder how much it's raised so far. But this is also a product of the fact that the government's not helping, right? We'll give however many billion to Ukraine, but we will not help out our own citizens here in America. Right? Yep. I think back, do you think this would have been like this if this was the 80s or the 90s? I feel like back then there was more general trust in celebrities, so it would have worked better back then.
I think so. I mean, you look at like, We Are the World, USA for Africa and stuff like that. Those were really, really, really big deals. And I was a little kid back then, but like I remember there wasn't the kind of cynicism and skepticism of the motives behind that kind of stuff. It's like everyone in America kind of felt, or at least all the kids that I went to school with, it's like everybody knew that like there was famine going on in Africa. Like that was something that school age kids knew, and we were really, really lucky to be Americans, and we should do whatever we can to help because there was people dying. That was the general, that was the vibe, and that was the truth according to everybody. There wasn't a lot of voices out there that were saying, no, it's not the case. There aren't really people. There wasn't people saying, no, nobody's actually dying in Africa. They get rain all the time. They're lying to you. But nowadays, I feel like that almost might be a thing you hear. You're like, oh, there was no fires in Maui. They're lying about that, or that kind of
that we're not privileged in America and America's awful.
Yeah. Also, a general distrust of charities and a general distrust of these organizations because you don't know where your money's going. Like Oprah saying that doesn't mean the money's actually going there. Like, what does that mean? At the end of the day, you're still you're still kind of taking a leap of faith. Here's my money. I hope it actually makes it to someone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like those old, that's like you can donate $5, however many cents a day to save like a pygmy in another country.
Yeah.
Like, they'll send you a picture of it. Like that had to be a scam, right? That had to be a scam. That was just a picture taken off the early days of the internet. It's like, here, this is the wild,
the small child that you're 28 cents a day.
Oh, they did it with children. That's even weirder. They did do it with children.
Yeah,
right?
they did. You got a picture and blah blah blah. You know, there was a human being they attached to it. Now I don't know if they were actually real people or not, but if they weren't, that is absolutely terrible.
Yeah. No,
if there were, it's like, oh, like pull on the heartstrings and see who you're helping.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so superhero movies, I'm just going to address this. She says, I like The Rock, but he should have stayed out of this one. And Oprah, aren't you ridiculously rich? Only $5 million? Really? She is ridiculously rich. She's a billionaire. So the question is, what's the right amount? I'm going to keep asking that question. What is the right amount? Because that's what all their complaints are. You could have given more. Okay, what the fuck is more?
The right amount is just an arbitrary amount of money that someone that has less money doesn't comprehend.
Yeah. And who else should have given as well? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just saying, who else should have given as well? Because there's plenty of people who didn't.
Especially in like, if you are talking about Hawaii and Maui, there's plenty of people that are very wealthy that own property out there. I mean, a lot of people that lost property, not everybody. I'm not saying that there's plenty of people there that have lost everything, and I'm not trying to minimize, but you know that there are wealthy people that own property in Maui that got burned down.
Yeah.
You know that they could toss in a significant amount of money for their
own community.
Yeah, for their own community.
Yeah. So. It's just weird to me because this seemed like people telling anybody, whether it's a person you like or not. I have no love loss for Oprah. I don't care about The Rock other than to see his movies, and for her, I guess not really anything because Oprah's kind of sucks. But I'm not going to tell somebody else how to spend their money, and it's just weird. It just, to me, it's indicative of the culture we live in now, where it's a culture of let somebody else do it. Not that way. Do it this way. Do it like, allow me to, Monday morning quarterback your generosity. Whatever you think of that generosity, whether they did just donate $10 million to build the infrastructure for the account, they could have just done nothing and not donated anything,
right?
And gotten less heat by staying out of the news cycle.
It's like when someone does you a favor and you complain about it.
How it was done.
It's just so cringe.
I did see that, like, was it Steven Tyler or somebody was saying like it's time to come back to Maui, like they want tourists back on Maui because a big part of like Hawaii is like the tourism is such a big part of their economy, right? Like I don't know. I find it weird when I see the people saying like it needs to be done this way. Like, you can have ideas on what that is, but I just would rather know, like, okay, then give me the right amount. Like, tell me what the amount is that The Rock should give. That's the right amount. It's like he just became the highest paid single film actor in history. I think it was $55 million for a single movie role, right?
Wow.
But it's like, I don't know. I just find it weird that people have that this way.
Yeah,
but that's fine. Okay, so then be like, okay, then just tell me how to do it, and I'll do it if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.